to think up questions, so we'll just let you guys get rolling.
Brian, you said during the week that Josh Adams had his explosiveness back. Just what did you see from him today?
I thought he had his explosiveness back. What did you see from him?
Could you just talk about what you saw from him and specifically the touchdown run, just what happened on that play?
We felt like tempo would be our friend today. It's a very athletic football team. They crowd the line of scrimmage. Numbers are very difficult for us in terms of blocking everybody. So tempo is going to be a big thing for us. So, our inside zone play, allows us, a little bit of misdirection, and the opportunity not to block everybody because you've got to defend the quarterback as well. And in that situation, if you're not perfect with your defensive fits, it gives you an opportunity, to fit the ball up inside, and we're able to do that on the particular run play that you're referring to.
Brian, to your right, Jerron Jones and the rush defense today held him to 2 yards at the first half, I think 18 for the game. Just a dominant effort by your
dominant effort, against a Power 5 football team that was nationally ranked a few weeks ago. I mean, I think that's about as good a performance that we've had in a while here. Jerron was outstanding. He was awarded the game ball. What I think stands out to me more than anything else is when your senior is playing his best ball. That says a lot about how he feels about coming to work every day, getting better, regardless of the record. I think that's a real positive for our program and for him individually. And he was a beast today out there.
Fink and Yoon obviously came through in the end for the special teams, but it was a rough day on special teams for the punt return unit, actually.
Well, look, our whole football team had been battling at times being indecisive in certain areas, whether we were indecisive at the quarterback position, whether we were indecisive as a play caller, whether we were indecisive at the cornerback position. Indecisiveness kind of put us where we are today. And so the word that we were using was, let's be decisive in everything that we do. Well, there's still some indecisiveness that is lingering. It's slowly leaving. And the opposite of that is being decisive and confident in what we're doing. And we have to be more confident. We've got really good players that care a lot, that have a lot of pride in what they do every single day. And I just have to reinforce with those guys to be more decisive. And they're coming on the other end of that, being indecisive. They're getting closer to being decisive.
Brian, Justin Yoon got dinged on, I think, a field goal, and then you had Cherison kicking off for a while, and then you brought Justin back again. Did he get injured?
No, he's had a little bit of legs, what I would call just some tendonitis, and we want to be careful with him with stretching him out on kickoffs all the time. His workload picked up incrementally, obviously, this year with kickoffs and his PAT and field goals. So, Cherison's done a really nice job, so we wanted to give him some kicks and really take some of the load off of Justin.
How would you evaluate Deshaun's ability to bounce back from the last couple weeks?
Really, really pleased with some of the play within the play, and for me, my eye is focused on rhythm, timing, getting the ball out of your hand, and I thought it was the best since he's been here, in getting the ball out of his hand. There were a couple of throws on the next to last drive that he would like to get back, but he's not flawless yet. So sorry, guys, he's not flawless yet. He's got some work that he'll continue to work on, but he was really good today. He did a lot of really good things. I think the thing that stands out for me was the mental toughness that he showed coming back from missing a couple of receivers on the drive prior to, and really showing some mental toughness on that last drive. I was looking for that in this game, and he showed that to me, and I was really proud of him.
What can you build from the defense's play overall? I mean, they were put in some bad positions today, and how they handled the last drive by Miami.
Well, I think, first of all, anytime that you can hold anybody in college football to, an ineffective running game, and then pass breakups. We do sack the quarterback here at Notre Dame, so for you guys that didn't think that happened, we do sack the quarterback. If you want to go direct snap and drop back, we can get to you. Now, if you just catch it and throw it, it's hard to get to you. So we can sack the quarterback. I thought it was a complete effort from a defensive standpoint. There are other things that we can do better. There's no question, but I thought the run defense was solid. I thought we got our hands on balls and pass breakups and deflections, and we pressured the quarterback. So I thought a lot of good things happened out there today defensively. Fourth down stops.
Brian, towards the middle here. Could you just quantify the importance of this team closing out a close game and being victorious?
Well, it just meant that we were going to have to go through this again. And we were all going to have to listen to, okay, the locker room's falling apart and, bunch of, baloney, and we'd have to go through all this again. It wasn't going to change anything. We were still going to do the same things. The attitude would have been great. Their preparation would have been great. But they were going to have to figure out how to win a football game late. And that meant they had to execute better. They had to play all phases better at the end, and they did. Offensively, they scored the last 10 points. They stopped Miami on the last drive, and we executed in our special teams game and kicking the field goal. Those three things had to come together sooner or later for us to win a game. And so they executed and closed out a game. That's all that means. Now they know how to do that. So we'll go back to work with the same underpinning, the same things that we've worked on over the last 10, 12 weeks. But now there's a lot more confidence in that room that they believe that they can do it. And if they just pay attention to the little things and are more decisive, they're going to win they can win every game they play, because they lost 5 games by 1 possession. So they know that.
I know you'll have a chance to look at the film, but it seemed to me like you guys tackled better today. Is that your assessment, and is that something you guys worked on more the last 2 weeks?
No, we've worked on it for the last it's been a point of emphasis for the last 5 weeks. We made it the first period. We changed up our tackling circuits. We made it a point of emphasis in terms of the way we were going to tackle. And we're starting to see that come to fruition.
Coach, what goes on on the bottom of the pile at the 2-yard line when 10 guys are on top of each other grabbing for the ball?
Well, I think we all know what's happening in there. I can tell you what I'm hoping happens, that we come up with the football in that situation. But I think we need to stay away from even getting into those kind of scrums. I think the play you're referring to is the one that, the ball came loose, on the goal line. But we've been on the other end of those, and our guys, we're going to find a way to win this game, and we came up with it. But there's clearly you can understand that there's it's survival of the fittest down there.
Strategically, what allowed Jerron to make the impact that he did? I mean, what got him through there so often?
Well, we're playing a lot more 3 down, so he's on the center, and I don't know if you saw a lot of things that we were doing, but we're hugging up those guards, and anytime you bring the guards, the guard has Niles on top of him, and he doesn't know whether he's pressuring him or not. Jerron's one-on-one with the center, and a couple of times we were able to, get him one-on-one. You can't block him one-on-one.
Coach, you talked about the scrum there. I believe Deshaun's the one that came out with it.
He was.
What did it say? Just that the quarterback is the one that can go in there and get the ball when it's loose like that.
Well, I said earlier, I was one of the things that I was looking for from him wasn't whether he could throw another dig route. I needed some more toughness from him, some mental toughness, and that's an indication he was not going to be denied. He was going to find a way to get that football, and that grittiness is maybe what we were lacking a little bit, and he showed some of that grittiness in the way he went and fought for that football.
And just with the season you've had with all the close losses, how important was it there? The backs were against the wall, and when Josh comes up with that run, I mean, I'm sure there were some people wondering, is this going to slip away again? How important was it for him to just, get you guys back into that play?
I can tell you what was on the sideline. You saw the energy on our sideline. Our guys were not going to believe that they couldn't do it. Now, the time might have ran out, and we might not have won the football game again. And they would have come back on Sunday and Monday, and they would have went back to work, and they would have kept working until they got a win. There wasn't a belief when I looked in the eyes of every one of those players that they weren't going to figure out and find a way to win. And so nobody was surprised. They were just happy as heck that it's finally over, that they got through it in a close game, that they found a way to win. That was the feeling more than anything else. It was the exhilaration that they finally got through and finished a close game.
Coach, over here, a couple of big plays by Niles. You brought up
Yeah.
sacks as well. Going back to the summer, he was kind of expected to be one of the leaders. There was high expectations for him. Do you think he is growing and developing to what you could see out of him?
I thought he's played very well all year. I think he's been as consistent of a player that we've had on defense from game 1 to game 8. His toughness, his demeanor, and the way he comes to practice every day. I'll tell you what, in that locker room right now, if you're saying who do you want in your foxhole, they want Niles Morgan in their foxhole. He's a guy that you want watching your back because he's there every day, every practice. He plays with toughness, and I think he's been that consistent performer for us.
Coach, over here. You talked about your players up front played well this game, and obviously that was a big part of the run defense, but it looked like you guys were kind of throwing some different looks, using your linebackers maybe a little bit more downhill on some stunts. What did you see from Miami that made you think that you guys could have some success with your safeties and your linebackers stunning like that?
Well, there's a number of factors that go into each and every game plan, and one of the things that was really, really important here was we knew more than anything else in this game that we had to attack the line of scrimmage. It's a big offensive line, and they had talented backs. If we didn't dent every gap, and they caught some seams, we weren't going to catch them. So we needed to attack the line of scrimmage. So this was a game plan that was set up. I thought it was an outstanding game plan that our defensive coaches put together that was really aggressive to the line of scrimmage. And now it put us – those corners were on an island a lot more today. And I thought they made some outstanding catches. We were on body in coverage. They made some great catches in third down situations, but – they were on their own a lot today, more than at any time this year. So the looks that you saw today was that we were run blitzing a lot more today than at any other time.
Early in the season, when you were giving up some bigger plays in the run game, you talked about fits at linebacker.
Yes.
Obviously, you got to go back and watch the film and assess things, but did it seem like your guys were, even including the safeties coming down, did it seem like they were more consistent with their fits
our
today?
fits are better. The system, in terms of what we're asking them to do, we're overlapping, with both safeties in terms of making sure that there aren't any big plays. We let one ball get outside, we were a little late with our safety, but other than that, they're doing a great job of overlapping each other.
You talked about the corners being on an island most of the time that were freshmen. Dante Vaughn especially seemed to really handle himself well in the vertical game. You just kind of talk about what you got from him today. They seem to want to challenge him a lot down the field.
Yeah, he's plays the ball very well. He's got a good sense of when to turn. Some guys just have a blind spot to that. He's long. He can rake through the basket. He does a really good job of sensing and feel that. We feel like the things that he has to work on is recognition. He's a little slow sometimes to fire his guns on some of the spots and, you know, bubble screen things. But he's going to be a really, really good player. I love coaching him. And just, you know, all those three freshman corners out there are just doing a great job for us.
Last thing for me, third down's been an issue this
Yep.
season. You guys went 8 of 16 today. Was it just execution? Was there something you guys saw on third down that you thought you could exploit?
We spent a lot of time on it and self-study, and obviously we did some things differently today to put ourselves in better position to manage our third down situations.